Okay, welcome to the Sales Funnel Blueprint Step-by-Step Business System. Now, in the following slides, I'm going to show you my proprietary approach to really the format and framework that I've seen in hundreds of entrepreneurial journeys and businesses that I've coached, as well as my own businesses that I've built from the ground up. And this is just basically me saying, hey guys, there's a lot of coaching, there's a lot of entrepreneurial pathways out there, but this blueprint is the most common pattern that I see. And this is just from real business, real practitioners, real operators, and just my brain as far as how to walk entrepreneurs, business owners, and individual producers through their business and sales funnel construction. Okay, so if you don't know who I am, my name's Josh Rhodes. I'm the CEO and founder of Groovy Marketing, as well as another company called Big Lead Gen Inc. Groovy Marketing is all about sales funnels, marketing funnels, entrepreneurship, affiliate marketing, internet marketing stuff. And Big Lead Gen Inc. is very vertical and niche specific. We serve real estate agents and mortgage brokers in a lead generation capacity. We coach and also provide done-for-you services. So it's a fantastic mix that allows me to get my hands on all kinds of different sales funnels out there in the world. Of course, I've got a beautiful family, 3 girls and a wife. I'm a proud member of the ClickFunnels 2 Comma Club. I've been listed on Inc. 5000 in past president capacities in different companies, and I love my team. And all of this is kind of the pedigree of what I call the Sales Funnel Blueprint experience, okay? So big question that I get a lot is, what's the silver bullet? Well, there's not one, but I do know that Mark Cuban nailed it when he said sales cure all, because sales bring in the revenue, they bring in the oxygen that allows a business to move forward despite inefficiencies and despite down months and despite down weeks. If sales are happening, everything's going to be okay. Now, that doesn't mean that greed is okay. That doesn't mean that misuse of funds is okay. It simply means that as long as you can sell something and as long as you have something that the customer or the market desires, then and you can convert it with a sales funnel, then you're going to live to fight another day, create wealth, create health, create the relationships that you want to create in the world. And one thing that I have to say up front is that if you're a business owner and you're not guiding the plane, aka your business, with the instruments, not just the window view, but actual metrics to grow your company, then you're missing out on a lot of stability and growth. And that's something I'm going to touch on right here, because they're basically 3 primary metrics to grow any business. Any company has to grow the following 3 metrics. Number 1, new customers. We always are thinking new customers. How many new units, how many new customers, how many new clients can we aggregate? Can we control? Can we attract? Okay. If you're adding new customers, something's going well. Okay. You may not be charging enough per customer. You may be charging too little, too much. But regardless, if you're getting new customers, you've got a huge problem already solved. Next, the second metric is the average cart value or the transaction value. How much does that new customer pay you every time they transact with you? Okay. If that number can grow, even by small percentages, you can exponentially grow your gross revenue. And that's a big deal. Okay, so new customers times average cart or transaction value. And then the last metric is customer lifetime value. Jean-Paul DeJoria, the guy who owns Paul Mitchell and tequila companies, talks about how he only goes into reorder businesses. Businesses that have elongated customer lifetime values. Some of you might have software as a service businesses with recurring revenue, or service-based businesses where people pay you to do something for them. Some of you might actually just have one-time sales products, and you might actually struggle in this arena. This is something that you've got to, as a business owner, think about long-term. And I always like to show people this graphic because sales funnels and funnels in general aren't just about sales. They're also about customer success. And I always like to show people the paywall, because two of the three metrics that I just showed you exist in front of the paywall. And obviously, momentum is at the bottom of the graphic. We want to always be moving forward. We always want to be gaining momentum and velocity. Entrepreneurs are addicted. They love to have momentum. But the new customers and the average transaction value is a part of the sales funnel experience. And some could argue that the sales funnel travels through the paywall, but I like to actually separate it and talk about customer success funnel. What's the experience? Who is catching the customer when they jump over the paywall with a velvet pillow? How are we creating customer success stories that then can be exported back up into the sales funnel to create new customers with? This is a great elementary, with my fourth grade brain, way of looking at your business and creating momentum and growth using a properly executed sales funnel blueprint, okay? So without further ado, I want to walk you through the 6 phases of the sales funnel blueprint, because these are things that I feel that you can't skip. You can't jump around, and you might actually find yourself, if you have a current or existing business, beyond one of these steps. You may find yourself that you may feel like you've been injected into one of these steps out of order, or you may decide that it's an important exercise to go back and revisit one of these steps after I explain to you what each one is, okay? So the first step is target, right? Your target outcome you desire. What is I'm talking about you. What is you as the business owner, as the entrepreneur, as the producer, the practitioner? What is the desire that you have? Maybe it is a certain percentage of revenue growth. Maybe it is you want to make more money and work less hours. Maybe you want to work more because you absolutely love interfacing with your business, your team, and your customers. Whatever that is, you've got to nail that, or none of this matters. This is the bottom piece of the Jenga puzzle. If you don't have your target outcome that you desire, literally write it down on paper. And maybe it's multiple desires. Maybe you could fill up an entire notebook sheet, front and back, of what your desires are. Regardless of how many they are, try to narrow them in and know where they are, where you can read them and remind yourself of them. Because after that, the way you get what you want is giving your customer what they want. And you got to know who your customer is. I'll give you a great example. One of my businesses, like I mentioned, is targeted towards real estate agents and mortgage professionals. But there are 3 million, give or take, real estate professionals in the country. I'm not talking about just any kind of real estate professional. I'm talking about agents, very specifically, who make 100% commission income. I'm not talking about real estate investors, for example, or real estate coaches, and the litany of other micro niches inside the real estate vertical. So my target customer, as a matter of fact, I actually tell real estate investors all the time, me and my team, they ask us, hey, will this work? Will your system work for real estate investors? And we say no, very clearly no, because our product is geared and produced for a very exclusive customer avatar, a very exclusive customer target base. You got to know who your niche really is and what is their target pain. I had a business coach one time tell me, or a marketing coach, hey, Josh, you got to identify what their bleeding neck pain is. What is the thing that they can't solve on their own, and it's a daily problem that's really eating their lunch, okay? What's their target pain? And then, of course, what's the target result they desire? right? We started with your desire. Now let's round off this phase with the target result that they desire. And this is all easily done just simply by writing bullet points on a piece of paper. And each of these bullets that I have on my slide here, you should totally just answer them as if they were questions on a test for you. And be as specific as you possibly can. My target customer is a real estate agent between 25 and 55 years old who is either male or female, 50-50 split. They make between $38,000 and $85,000 a year. Their bleeding neck pain is that they don't have enough leads, and the industry hasn't equipped them with enough skills to generate leads and follow up appropriately to close more deals. And so my solution, obviously, is built around that target problem or pain, right? And their target result is that they all want to be six-figure earners. They want to go to the next level and make six digits so that they can have more time with their families and create, obviously, the wealth expansion for their families that everyone in America and around the world desires, okay? So that's phase one of the sales funnel blueprint. That's the target overview. Now, action is one of my favorite phases because this is where we just make a mess. Action creates traction. One of the biggest flaws that I see entrepreneurs make all the time is that they just think about it way too long. They have an idea way too long. The number one trait that I see between successful entrepreneurs that I've coached or successful real estate agents, whatever vertical it is, the people who win are the ones who aren't afraid to go from strategy to implementation, from idea to execution. And when you go make a mess, that's you saying, I will relax my perfectionism. I will relax my desire to get everything right the first time. I'll try not to hit a grand slam with one swing because statistically it's humanly improbable. And so what I'm really going to try to do is just go out and throw spaghetti on the wall. Let's make a mess. Let's see which paint color actually looks great on that wall. Let's put a few different colors on the wall. Let's make a mess. And we're going to leverage the Pareto principle. So I'll give you a real life example. Maybe you have a product that you want to sell online. But there's different ways to sell stuff online. You can do one-on-one strategy calls and then ask someone to purchase your coaching package or your product, your course, your boot camp, whatever that might be. There's webinar funnels where you can sell to many at one time. There are simple opt-in and sales funnels that you can use and leverage email marketing, whatever that is. Those are all opportunities. They're all options. And usually where people get stagnant is they're standing in a hallway and there's 1,000 doors and they all say opportunity. And they get paralysis. And what I'm telling you is to just start walking through doors. Launch the webinar. Then launch the high ticket sales funnel. Launch. Just create a mess. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Millionaires are made every day by imperfect offers being deployed with near perfect sales funnels. Okay? Just go sell something. Get somebody's credit card. Get someone to sign a contract. Get revenue pumping somehow, some way, and always be measuring along the way, right? You always want to be tracking what you're doing so that you can attribute success to the correct action that you've taken, okay? You always want to know where that customer came from. And that's a huge part of action because after action, we analyze. Okay, let's look what happened. Let's look over our shoulder at the mess that we've made and let's organize the truth. Let's use objective data to tell us what our next steps are. And going back to the Pareto principle, which is also known as the 80-20 principle, 20% of our activity, our action creates 80% of our results. It's just kind of a natural law. 20% of the traffic in my city and your city, or 20% of the highways host 80% of the traffic, right? 20% of the salespeople on a corporate sales team creates 80% of the revenue for that corporation. The list goes on. You need to identify the 20% from the action phase that created the 80% or the massive part of the results that you are now analyzing. And once you identify that, it's time to go and optimize. Optimize simply means to make better or to make more efficient. And we want to make changes around the data that we gathered in the analyze and the action phases. This is where we use the truth, and we use the truth that we've organized to make the sales page headline better, to make the webinar slide deck better, to make the sales script for our phone call sales team better, okay? We're going to weaponize the truth. The truth is the data, not your entrepreneurial gut or feeling. We're going to set goals based on the data that we retrieved in the action and analyze phases. And these goals are the things that we can actually start building a business around, okay? Which takes us to the launch phase. Now, launching is different in my definition than a lot of people. A lot of people think launch would be the first step. Well, actually, now you can see we're in the fifth step because there's a lot of things that happen before an appropriate launch. Now I can go to joint venture partners and channel partners and other people that have intrinsic circles with me but aren't direct competitors, and we can deploy the optimized sales funnel that we've been building. We can use paid traffic. We can use influencers. And we can launch officially into the marketplace. Now, there are three types of traffic, and we won't go into tactical traffic skills and strategies here, but generally speaking, you have three types: cold traffic, warm traffic, and hot traffic. And when you launch, you're really going into the cold traffic of your market. And your whole goal as a business is to every day be moving people from cold to warm and from warm to hot, because warm and hot traffic is where monetization happens. It's where you generate the revenue. It's you, when you go from cold traffic to warm traffic to hot traffic, you're creating your own low-hanging fruit, okay? And that's a massive leverage point that you have in the marketplace and an advantage that you have over your competitors, okay? So launching is where you start generating your own low-hanging fruit. And then lastly, you're going to go scale. Now, this is up to you. Some people, some entrepreneurs, some small business owners, they kind of like a more tepid lifestyle business where they can create their own margins. They get to control how fast or slow they go. And then you've got the people who want to go, 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 go. And if that's you, you're really going to love the scale phase, because scaling is all about going bigger, better, more, you name it. Any synonyms I can create right now for more, that's what scale is. This is where you start purchasing customers in volume. This is when you create offers as well that scale with your distribution, okay? Because it's very important in the scale phase that you have an offer that is scalable as well. Because you can go get 1,000 customers at scale maybe, but if your product is one-on-one time with you and the customer, and you just went and got 1,000 one-on-one times with coaching clients, well, you're in trouble, because now you're trading your time for money again, and that's not a scalable offer. So you want to be able to create an offer that scales with your customer acquisition capabilities with the sales funnel. And that, at the end of the day, is the sales funnel blueprint. Dan Kennedy, they call him the father of direct response marketing, says you can sell successfully at prices substantially higher than your competition, or that you imagine possible if you know how. And the know-how comes from the sales funnel blueprint we just walked through, because you've got a pathway, the yellow brick road, on creating a sales funnel that allow you to earn more money and also create a scalable offer that doesn't necessarily take up more time. Josh Rhodes here. That's the Sales Funnel Blueprint training overview. Hope this is helpful, and we'll see you soon.